Shomo Data, and this is Built to Trust. Today we're closing the season, pulling the threads together, and giving you a clear path for the next 90 days. I'm also announcing something I'm very proud of, the Built to Trust book, a practical, digestible, and actionable field guide based on everything we covered this season, including today's episode, coming in December on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. It's built for hardware, software, and robotics leaders who want less theater, more truth, and calm delivery. This finale has 3 jobs. First, remind you what mattered most across episodes 1 through 13, not as a history lesson, but as a map you can reuse. Second, give you a Monday-ready toolkit and a 90-day adoption plan that will move your system forward even if you only have a few hours a week. Third, show you what's next, how the book will help you put all of this to work, and how we'll expand the playbook next season. Let's start with why this season mattered. The core idea was simple. Trust is not a vibe. Trust is clarity, evidence, and cadence. Clarity means people know the promise and the cascade, done when X measured by Y observed in Z. Evidence means we prove reality with runbooks, soaks, and logs instead of adjectives. Cadence means we work in a rhythm that exposes truth early and lands decisions on time. When you combine those 3, clarity, evidence, cadence, you get calm delivery, fewer surprises at seams, and less burnout. That was our promise. That's what the tools were for. Fast recap, and then we'll go deeper. Episode 1, Why Trust Ships. We set the grammar, done when X measured by Y observed in Z. Episode 2, the 6-week rhythm, intent, decision close, truth roll-up, harden, demo, retro. Episode 3, MVP, that's actually viable, safety, reliability, and the smallest evidence that earns the right to move forward. Episode 4, retros that improve reality, what went well, what to do better, and what to keep, with owners and dates. Episode 5, baselines, risk, and change. Baselines as promises, change notes as visible deltas, risk as a decision tool. Episode 6, hiring, the hang glider approach, trust, commitment, order of hires, carrots aligned. Episode 7, management of change without bureaucracy, optioned asks, go and no-go, freeze windows, rollback and stop loss. Episode 8, soaks that tell the truth, stress, jitter, abuse profiles, and past gates that prevent wishful thinking. Episode 9, roadmaps that ship, probabilistic planning, capacity plus WIP limits, and honest dates. Episode 10, calm status at scale, moved, blocked, need help, one number, one risk trend, so leadership actually makes decisions. Episode 11, run books that actually run, 1-page header, roll back first, step table with evidence and rehearsal, so it works at 3 in the morning. Episode 12, grow the humans, ladders, one-on-ones, feedback, reps, and fair promotions, right-sized for 10-person teams, 50 to 150 groups, and a few hundred-person orgs. Episode 13, interface first, contracts, seam soaks, versioning, and a small seam board, so integration becomes boring in the best way. That's the arc. Make truth cheap. Make change safe. Make delivery boring. That's praise. I want to give you 3 field stories, short and concrete, to anchor this in reality. No drama, just cause and effect. Story 1, a hardware bring-up line that ate Fridays. Station 4 produced scrap spikes whenever a specific connector was involved. The fix wasn't a speech. It was episode 11 plus episode 8 in action. We rebuilt the runbook with a 1-page header, added a torque verification step and a photo evidence step, then created a short seam soak on a shaker dwell. Pass gate. Torquey within spec, 0 latch opens across a 15-minute dwell, and a clean photo at handoff. First pass yield rose by 3 points in the first week and 2 more by week 3. Fridays went quiet. Story 2, a platform release that only worked when the hero was awake. We used management of change from episode 7 plus runbooks and soaks. We wrote a rollback first run book with a canary window and required screenshots from the same health panels before, during, and after. We ran a 2-hour soak for the canary and a 12-hour soak before the full cutover. Incidents dropped to near 0 and people slept. That was the goal. Story 3, a robotics perception to control seam that misbehaved only outdoors. We used episode 13's interface contracts and seam soaks. We put numbers on timing budgets and a degrade rule for stale data. We added a contract test to check order and idempotency. We ran a jitter/loss soak that looked like the real world. The seam got boring and the team went back to improving accuracy instead of fighting ghosts. Now, the 10 artifacts listeners use most this year. These are the pages you print, the shells you copy, the checklists you run. 1. The 6-week rhythm card. Week 1, intent. Week 2, decision close. Week 3, truth roll-up. Week 4, harden and soak. Week 5, demo. Week 6, retro and reset. 2. The change note. A 1-pager for deltas to scope, date, or interfaces. What changed, why, risk and rollback, pass gate, and links to evidence. 3. The retro trio. What went well, what to do better, what to keep. 1 line each, owner and due date. Keep it to 5 lines so people act. 4. The soak planner with stop loss, duration, stress profile, P95 and P99 to watch, stop loss triggers, and the 1-sentence pass gate. 5. The decision card, options A, B, and C, trade grid. 1 line of recommended choice and a stop loss. Close the loop in writing. 6. The runbook header and step table. Name and purpose, owner and backup, last updated and last dry run, prereqs, escalation ladder, rollback summary, pass gates, then the step table, action, expected result, evidence, guard, timer, rollback. Rehearsed at 3 in the afternoon, so it works at 3 in the morning. 7. The ladder, 1-pager by track. Levels down the rows, 3 columns across, impact, scope, execution, and quality, collaboration and leadership, link slots for artifacts. 8. The seam contract test template, field table with units and ranges, timing budgets, order and idempotency checks, negative cases, and a small script that runs daily. 9. The seam board, 1 line per seam, owner, backup, current version, last contract test date, last soak date, open change notes, red flag only if a decision is needed. 10. The weekly calm status sheet, moved, blocked, need help. 1 number, 1 risk trend, that's it, no slide theater. If you implement just those 10, your system will get calmer. If you implement half, it will still get better. Let's turn that into a 90-day adoption plan. You can start Monday. You do not need a reorg. You do not need permission. You need a few hours each week and the discipline to land small promises. Days 1 through 30. Pick 3 artifacts and make them real. The runbook header, the change note, and 1 seam contract test. Write 1 interface contract for a seam that matters and build a tiny contract test. Happy path, boundary values, and 1 negative case. Put the test in your build and in your lab. Choose 1 critical procedure and rewrite its runbook with a header, rollback first, and a step table with evidence. Rehearse it with a fresh operator. Start calm status with moved, blocked, need help, 1 number, and 1 risk. Start small. 1 team, 1 page. Days 31 through 60. Add decision cards for the choices you keep punting. Make freeze windows real. A short period before landings when seam versions and high-risk changes don't move unless a specific exception is written with a rollback. Start a rep board for growth. List small, scoped leadership moments and assign them so people climb the ladder by doing. Run at least 1 seam, soak each week with a realistic jitter or abuse profile and post the passgate screenshot. Day 61 through 90. Publish ladder 1-pagers for your tracks. They fit on 1 page, they link to artifacts, and they remove the mystery around growth. Introduce short promotion packets with 5 to 7 artifacts, 3 peer inputs, and a manager rubric table. No novels. Start monthly run book rehearsals for Tier 1 procedures and track last dry run dates in the header. Tie all of this together by adding 2 tiny metrics to your weekly promise kept rate with scope integrity and mean time to recover at seams. If those 2 numbers move in the right direction, the rest will follow. How this scales by organization and size matters. If you're a 10-person unit, keep it light. One runbook at a time, one seam contract test, one status page. The manager owns all one-on-ones and can read every artifact. Don't build a machine. Just write the next thing and ship. If you're a 50 to 150s group, standardize the shells. Use the same runbook header, the same change note, the same ladder shape, the same column status. Add a 15-minute seam board review midweek. Promotions run 2 or 3 cycles per year with small packets and cross-team reviewers. Keep the packet short or you'll drown in paperwork. Directors sample one-on-one docs and ladder pages once per 6 weeks, and coach managers. If you're a few hundred people, resist ceremony creep. Keep the ladder one page. Keep the packet short. Add a quarterly review day for managers and directors to align reps and promotions. Add guardrails so panels stay artifact anchored and short. The VP sets a theme for reps each quarter. Own a seam, write a runbook, run a soak, and celebrates boring wins, not flashy demos. Artifacts over meetings, evidence over adjectives. Let's answer 3 questions I get all the time, briefly and usefully. How often should we run seam soaks? If the seam changed last week, run a short soak this week, 2 to 4 hours with the stress profile that matches your field. Before a major landing, run a 12 to 24 hour soak within your freeze window and post the screenshot in the go or no go. If a seam hasn't changed, run a maintenance soak once per cycle. What's a fair promotion cadence? 2 to 3 cycles per year. Packets 2 pages plus links. Artifacts 5 to 7. Peer inputs 3 plus 1 cross-functional. Manager rubric table 1 page. A small calibration panel that can read and decide in 15 minutes. Outcomes are promote now or not yet with 2 specific reps and a date. Publish the reasoning in 1 paragraph. People accept no when the path to yes is clear. How do you set freeze windows without slowing down? Keep them short and predictable. 36 hours before a landing is a good default. If a critical fix is needed, write a change note that names the rollback and the pass gate. Run the contract test and a quick soak and have one approver write 1 sentence that says why this exception is worth it. The goal is not to stop change. The goal is to make change visible and reversible. I want to give you a 1-page map for where each artifact lives across phases so you can right-size your effort. In concept and early prototyping, to quick start runbooks, the smallest useful interface contracts, experiment cards, and short soaks that focus on time to truth. In EVT, formalize the verification methods at the lowest level, add seam soaks, and start the decision card habit so trade-offs land on time. In DVT, tighten pass gates, expand contract tests, and add the freeze window discipline so integration lands without surprises. In PVT and production, lean into station runbooks, CTQS, incoming quality gates, deviations and containment, and seam boards that now include suppliers and test fixtures. This season also emphasized growth because tools without people don't move. Ladders were not there to decorate your wiki. They were to remove mystery. The one-on-one template kept growth and obstacles visible. The reps board turned potential into action. Own a seam for a cycle, write a runbook others can use. Drive a go or no-go or shape a freeze window for a landing. Promotions became fair and fast when you anchored them in artifacts, not adjectives. That's how you keep talent and grow capability without burnout. Now, the book, Built to Trust, is exactly what you've been asking for. A digestible, actionable field guide that packages the season's patterns into a single volume you can use with your team. It is not a memoir and it is not a textbook. It's a tool you can mark up. We kept the chapters tight, the language plain, and the checklists on 1 page. The book includes refined chapters built from episodes 1 through 13, today's capstone guidance, and a full template pack. You'll get the 6-week rhythm card, change note shells, retro prompts, soap planners, decision cards, run book headers and step tables, ladder one-pagers, contract test templates, seam boards, and calm status sheets. Every chapter closes with a Monday ready checklist and a mini case so you can see the move in context. It will be available on Amazon in December in paperback and Kindle. If you follow me on LinkedIn or subscribe on Podbean, Apple, or Spotify, you'll see the exact date and a link the day it goes live. Before we close, I want to give you one compact adoption checklist to start next week. It's a single page. Write one runbook header for your riskiest procedure and rehearse it with a fresh operator. Write one interface contract and a tiny contract test for your noisiest seam. Start calm status with moved, blocked, need help, one number, one risk trend. Pick one decision this week and use a decision card to land it in writing. Run a short seam soak with a realistic stress profile and post the screenshot. Hand one rep to one person. Own a seam for a cycle, write a run book, or land a go or no go. If you do those 6 moves for 4 weeks, your system will feel different. The meetings will get shorter, the surprises will get smaller, the delivery will get calmer. Gratitude matters. Thank you for listening, for sending your wins and your challenges, and for trying these patterns on real teams with real stakes. Thank you to the engineers, tech leads, managers, systems, and program partners, ops leaders, and test teams who shared evidence and taught us what worked and what broke. Next season, we'll go deeper on supplier reality and production readiness, safety that ships, humane on-call for critical systems, and real-world examples of running this playbook in new domains. We'll end where we began. Make truth cheap. Make change safe. Make delivery boring. That's praise. When the room starts to spin, you want a routine you trust. When you have the grammar, done when X, measured by Y, observed in Z, and the rhythm, intent, decision, truth, soak, demo, retro, and the tools, change notes, run books, contract tests, seam soaks, ladder reps, and calm status. You don't need heroics. You need the next step on one page. That's what we built this year. If this season helped you, follow Built to Trust wherever you listen. Hit subscribe. Share it with one builder who wants to trade stress for clarity. Leave a rating or a short review. It helps more engineers and managers find the show. And watch for the Built to Trust book in December on Amazon. It is the season wrapped into a field guide you can hand to your team and start using that day. Thank you for listening, for building, and for choosing calm over chaos. I'm Shomo Data. This is Built to Trust. We'll be back after the book launch with more tools, more stories, and the same promise. Small moves, clear words, Monday ready.